Well, and I believe we are live just like that. Hi, everybody. This is Nate. Welcome, Kevin. That makes me very happy that you're joining me on my channel. It's like welcoming you to my home. How are you,
Hey,
Kevin?
I'm good. How are you doing? It's good to catch up.
I know it feels like a long, long time we haven't spoken.
It does. It feels like time's going by so quickly, right?
I don't know. It's probably because there's just so much going on that,
Mm.
it feels like a long, long time. This is live, so if you are watching and hearing us here on the chat, please let us know that the sound's okay, the video's okay. It feels like it. I'm just gonna say hi to Pastel Skies, to Lisa, to Tita, to Cassie, to Bern O'Malley, to Pegasus, Shukishma, Three Shifting Veils, Rebecca, Zodiac Cafe, Three Kitty Love, Brina, and many, many other people. Hummingbird, Jen Lilly, Lois Rogers, Yvonne, Maria, Mega, who is a new member. Thank you so much. Julian, welcome everybody. We are close to 100 people already. This
Oh,
is
nice.
pretty fun. And Kevin, maybe I can imagine some people would not know who you are, but maybe it's worth to do an introduction in the rare event that maybe someone doesn't know your channel and what you do. So please, Kevin, feel free to give us a little bit about you.
All right. Well, hello everyone. I've been Nathan and I have been doing like a monthly collab for the last few months, which I've been really enjoying. But I have a YouTube channel as well, Kevin's Loving Vibrations, where I focus in on politics, current events, very similar to Nate. I do regular like solo live shows, and I have some regular collaborations as well. And I also I do readings, and I'm a Reiki practitioner and teacher. Um, so for myself, I really call myself an energy intuitive. While when I'm reading, feeling into the energy and following it to the most likely outcome, maybe anything relevant from the past that's maybe blocking us from going where we want to go. And I use that same gift when I do my healing work. So just a little quick way of how I work and what I offer and my channel. So
Awesome. Well, if you are not subscribed to Kevin's channel, make sure that you go subscribe. And
thank
maybe
you.
you think you are subscribed to my channel, and then you realize, like a lot of people told me recently, that they were not. They
Mm,
thought they were and they were not. So just give yourself a favor and check those subscription. And wanted to thank Stargazer,
thank
um,
you.
who seems to be very excited. We are definitely very excited. um, so maybe before we get to take some questions, obviously there is a lot of to talk about, but particularly in relation to the war. So maybe just let's start with that,
Yeah.
to kind of hear what I'm curious to kind of compare notes on that, and then we'll take some other questions that will likely take care of some quite a few Iran questions. So
Mm.
kind of what are your thoughts with the war all around? I know that in the last collaboration we said that we felt like there would be some sort of a strike. So kind of where are you with all that?
I was gonna say, I think the last time I was on your channel in January, I think was when everything in Venezuela was going on, and then all the threats in Greenland. And even though, obviously I'm concerned of other places, I remember telling you and your audience, um, I was actually really kind of nervous about something going on with Iran in the Middle East. So here we are, right? Active 2026. Um, for me, kind of picking up on it, I think it's very clearly a distraction from other stuff going on. Um, I do feel things kind of escalating and getting worse before they get better. I'm not particularly picking up like a long conflict.
Hmm.
Um, I almost feel very the word war doesn't really resonate with me too. It feels more like a conflict. I do think it's going to continue on for probably March into April, maybe May, but I'm really feeling a lot of energy in the Middle East around April. And to me, it kind of feels like things start to de-escalate, maybe something that kind of re-escalates. It kind of feels kind of, not necessarily short-lived, but also not something that's going on for years and years also. It kind of feels like there's energy here or there with that. Now, I don't think it's going to turn into, like I said, war's not resonating. I do think that there'll be other players that get involved with this, but I actually feel like those other players might be what kind of settles the conflict too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, from my perspective, maybe I agree with what you said, maybe except on one point.
Yeah.
I feel more of a war,
Okay.
personally,
So
but
war's not really resonating with you.
it's really, just a sense of, what it is really. The reason I say war is just because I see more of the intricacies between the different countries that are involved, like even though they're at a distance, China and Russia play a role.
Yeah.
Europe is actually going to be involved into kind of defending some of the access to oil. So
Do you
I think,
feel like those other players are going to actually have boots on the ground or support with their own military? It doesn't feel like that to me anyway.
no,
It feels
they're
like it's
involved.
more like financial and supplies.
Yeah, it's kind of like, some degree, I draw parallels with Ukraine and Russia, where
Okay.
obviously Europe and the US are at war, but in an indirect kind of way.
Yeah, I
So
agree.
I think this is kind of where I feel. When I first read on it, I cannot always like to go back to my original prediction. I felt 6 weeks, and I still feel 6 weeks. And so we're on week 1 or 2, depending on how you look at it. And so I felt like there could be another 4 weeks. I also feel that there will be a ceasefire. I think this is going to be kind of basically not resolving anything, frankly, but at least the attacks will stop.
Yeah.
But then after that, it will go on and on and on. But I think I would expect the ceasefire, like by April, like you said, like a ceasefire.
Yeah. And
And
I
I also,
feel like it de-escalates, but then there may be things that re-trigger some kind of response. It doesn't feel like the situation's totally settled by April. I'm not
no,
picking that up, but
no,
I think a
no.
lot of the destruction and in chaos that's going on may start to subside a little bit more into April.
Yes. I also pick up that at some point, and that's intuition, but also logic, that Israel and the US will have a parting ways or a clash.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, because I feel like, first of all, their goals are, the goals are totally different.
Mhm.
And obviously we know that there's a very strong interest of Israel to pursue this to much more longer, or to a much more opportunity to keep pushing the advantage, so to speak. And so that, I think, is something that might create some sort of a disagreement or a clash.
Interesting. I mean, I could absolutely see that as well. Um, I wouldn't mind throwing more cards on that later if you want to.
Yeah, why not, Kevin?
Like looking like at how our
The
relationship with Israel fares
Israel
because of this.
and yes, and Israel-US relationship. Mhm.
Can I tell you what I've always thought was a bit interesting too is Trump is owned by Bibi and also by Putin, and both of them are kind of conflicting of what they want. I think
Yeah.
that there's a lot of blackmail that both of them have on Trump. And so I think
Oh,
it will
yeah,
be interesting, whoever he upsets, if anything, any more big information comes out.
absolutely. And we're already starting a bit more of the files coming through Epstein file stuff
Yeah,
more and more. This is not stopping. Um, I'll get maybe started on those cards. The High Priestess. I
mm,
feel like there's a lot, obviously, that we don't know that going on behind the scenes secrets. The King of Cups, I think it's just the emotion. I think it is also not a particular person in this case. I certainly don't see Trump as the King of Cups or Netanyahu, but the emotions drive the decisions. And Six of Swords, that could be that parting ways.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do feel like that there is a tide that's turning here. Um,
Mm,
because I have like the King of Rods, which is like a fiery leader, and I'm not sure if that's Netanyahu. It's not my trump card. Um, and then the Devil too. So I think, to me, I'm feeling a lot more energy around Israel. Um,
yeah.
Starting this attack and been planning it for a while. With the Devil too, it can be a bit of like being a bit enslaved or chained, tied, unable to kind of break because maybe somebody has some information. Um,
Mhm.
I do get the Wheel of Fortune here too, so cycles are changing here. I actually feel like this may be Epstein related because you have the oligarchs, the elites, the power class. Um, it's going to be called out for some foolish actions, and I think a lot of new beginnings with that. Somebody who's abusing their power with the Five of Swords. We have the World card, so things coming to an end. Again, the Fool came up before, so that's about a new beginning. And then there's a lot of anxiety and nervousness with this Nine of
Yeah.
Swords here. It's almost like being bound and chained, kind of like the Devil card as well.
Mhm.
I'm not necessarily, I mean, the World comes through with it, which could be change, but I do feel like there's, um, I think Trump's hands are tied a little bit right now.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree. Just wanted to say thank you for SW for your donation,
Hmm.
as well as Pink Lady. Um, an interesting question
Yeah.
from Julian: how Trump voters really feel about the war?
Yeah.
That's a good one.
The thing with some Trump voters, Trump could literally shoot somebody walking down the street, and they would be totally fine with it. But I do think that there is a lot of. I've always felt like this MAGA movement imploding. Not to
Mhm.
say that the whole movement's gone, but it kind of feels like it breaks up in fractions. And I think that there's a good amount of the support that is not happy with
Oh,
focusing so
yeah.
much out on the world.
Mhm.
Ooh.
Um,
I get actually a lot of them are very disappointed. Five of Cups. This is like a grief, a loss. Like you promised
yeah.
us something, and there's disappointment. I think some of them think he may have a bit too much power too, with the Emperor and the
Mm,
Death card. It brings in change and ending. So ending of support for the dictator. Wheel of Fortune. It's a new cycle, new beginning. Can I tell you? I think, and I've been talking about the No Kings protests, and I think that there's going to be a world response to what's going on in the Middle East and everything else going on in our country. Um, but I feel like it's going to be historic. I actually feel like both sides of the aisle coming together. Not everybody that's a Republican or
yeah.
MAGA, but I think, a sizable amount.
Interesting.
Hmm.
Um, I got the Queen of Pentacles. It's a reminder that it's going to be about the economy. I saw today that
Yeah.
The barrel was over $100. So that, I mean, prepare yourself. Gas prices are gonna go up to 20-30%. I really feel that, there's going to be a direct impact. And shockingly, you got the emperor. I have the Hierophant, but look what came after that death.
Ooh,
Like,
I had the death card to the emperor. You have it to the Hierophant.
and the Hierophant. So that's got to mean something. Yes.
Can I say also, I mean, we're talking about Iran and like regime change, and I think the energy that we're going in as well is very much ending some of that control, authoritarian, kind of toxic masculinity. There's a lot of endings and changing happening with that, and a lot more divine feminine energy coming in as a result too. That's all about inclusion and compassion. Again, it's not something that's going to happen overnight. It's a kind of a period that we're in, but I think it's interesting too. It's almost a bit of the end of the emperor here too. I agree with you too. The gas is going to be a major problem, but I haven't this morning when I saw the stock market. I mean, it's really dropped significantly the last few days. I don't know what it's at right now, but there's a lot of things. Epstein stuff, more information coming out about that his base isn't happy with. So do you feel like with all of this chaos, do you feel like things are shifting and changes is starting to happen?
I mean, this is a big turning point, isn't it?
I think so too.
Turning point. Massive. I think it was. My feeling is like I could see Trump struggling, and I get the sense like he rolled the dice. That's the image I get from a clairvoyant standpoint.
Yeah.
Kind of to Brenda's question here is, what are your thoughts on like an attack on the U.S. soil?
Something I've been concerned about and talking about for a while is, even though things are very destabilized in the Middle East, I do see a lot of the sleeper cell solo events in Europe and in the US. I don't feel like it's that country actually having like a bomb strike or a missile or anything like that hitting us. To me, it feels more like it's terror related.
Yeah, I am afraid of that. I don't feel it, but I could see it happening. It's just like I have not seen it, but since I've
And
always
also
said
it's scary too with who's in charge right now. Who's going? You have people that aren't competent and aren't knowledgeable about their jobs. They don't have any experience, and they're the ones leading us and trying to keep us safe and secure. And I don't have a very good feeling about that, to be completely honest with you.
No, the military bases, I mean, from the very beginning I saw them being hit, and I think they have, and that's another point. We are officially at 7 deaths. We know it's significantly more. I mean, I don't know your thoughts on that. Personally, like I felt like it would be closer to 500.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Yes.
I definitely feel it's more significant than what they're sharing.
Krista, I feel exactly that. And I can already tell you that, because I watch the news in Europe and in the US, I watch both. And this is not the same information that's coming out from US media outlets. It is than what they're saying. I can get that. I will tell you. You wanted to say something else, Kevin?
Well, I was gonna agree with what you're saying. Is I don't necessarily trust the U.S. media with their information that they're getting, and it's almost like maybe even having to like look outside of our news system for really good, accurate information.
Yeah, I've been recommending people to watch the BBC.
Mhm.
Um, it's broader. Yeah. Um, Prairie's asking boots on the ground. That
I'm
I'm
not
not
seeing that.
sure. Hmm,
Are you seeing
no,
that boots on the ground?
no,
I'm not
no.
either. I'm almost feeling like they destroy a lot, and I mean, I did hear that the leader's son um, is sworn in now. I'm sure that they may be targeting him too, but I kind of feel like it's they make a mess and then try to walk away from it.
Yeah, I agree with you. Um, as far as this and Hello Star, I don't think it's gonna get to a point of gas shortages, but gas prices being much higher, yes.
Mhm.
You feel gas shortages?
It feels more like the supply and demands of the pricing, but I do feel like it doesn't feel like it's a long-term shortage because I feel like they'll try to whether tap into our reserves or I know Trump's already taking off sanctions so Russia can sell their oil again. Um, but I do feel like the price is going to be expensive for quite a while.
Yes. I know this is kind of a funny comment about biking, but not everyone can bike to work.
Yeah,
Yes, that's what she says. Her daughter has to drive 20 miles. Well, that's not gonna work. Um,
I just got a new vehicle. I got an SUV, and yeah, I mean that thing likes to suck up gas, and it's not even it's a four-cylinder. But I definitely noticed a difference from my Kia Soul. Great time for that, having to pay a little bit more, right?
I know. Um, I am gonna look for other questions regarding Iran. Otherwise, we will.
Did somebody in the chat asked if we see a draft? I'm not seeing a draft, but
Well, I do feel that they will enroll people on lists as potential drafts ready, which is,
hmm
I think I want to be clear that um, I think they're not going to activate it, but they're going to prepare.
interesting. Like a backup just in case. But if they
Yeah,
were to do the draft too, then that would be a point where we have boots on the ground.
yes, exactly. So that would be right. Let's see. There's some other questions about Iran. There's some other questions that are not Iran related. No, okay, so we can shift a little bit. Teatra, and thank you for a donation. The young girl who accused Trump of assault telling the truth, will she come forward? And kind of maybe to you, Kevin, the whole topic of more victims coming forward.
Yeah. I do feel like there's more information coming forward, and I actually believe that there was multiple accusations.
Yeah.
I think it was more than just one. Didn't they just didn't the DOJ just release?
Hmm.
Um, I'm wondering why the mainstream media isn't talking more and more about that. Isn't that suspicious?
Because the piece that I read was so horrific.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, really horrific.
I'm just saying, I think if I don't like the double standard because we all know if Biden was still in, it would be all we're talking about, and we would be talking about dementia and cognitive decline in health. But Trump gets
And
away with it, right?
yeah, because a lot of the media is on his side. Yeah.
hmm
So let's maybe look at, victims coming forward.
I have more exposure here. Ooh. A Page of Pentacles in this deck, it's a female. I'm
Mm,
almost feeling the Pentacles as information, proof of the devil.
wow.
It's a big fight back and forth, 5 of Wands. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to all come out at once. But I have the Bully card here with the 5 of Swords. I could definitely see that as an assault card, and the 10 of Swords too, which is being defeated, betrayed, backstabbed. I don't know if I do feel like there's more victims coming out with information, but I'm almost feeling, and I've said for a while, a lot of the information coming out from overseas, because we know as long as Trump's in there, his people working for him are going to do whatever they can to delete, suppress evidence, all of that.
Yeah.
And I feel a big financial aspect coming out that really implicates Trump as well.
2 of Wands, that's overseas, to your point. Like, look, you see the globe here, right? Here. The victims, I think they're kind of in waiting mode, like ready to come forward. The King of Pentacles, that's Trump, obviously. And it's interesting, the Hangman as a card here, we usually kind of attribute like everything in holding pattern, which I think it's somewhat true. But I think it's also like you could look at it literally like ready to like hang him. Like
or maybe they throw him out as like the sacrificial lamb. Some of the other elites try to protect themselves.
Yeah. It could be. It could very well be. Star, thank you as well. I think we're going back to Iran with this question.
Okay.
And to withdraw from Iran?
I don't think Trump really having a big plan to begin with, if I can be completely honest with you.
He always has concepts of a plan.
Concepts of a plan? Yeah.
Let's see, healthcare plan is a concept of a plan.
I mean, we're still waiting 10 years for his healthcare plan, right? Oh, we're going to hear about it in 2 weeks. I think he said a couple years ago. We're still waiting.
Yeah. Every 2 weeks. It's in 2 weeks. All right. A plan to withdraw. I feel like this operation went awfully wrong, and they're just going to figure it out now. It was certainly not expected that Iran would just shoot back at all over the region. That I don't think they expected that.
I think that there is actually some kind of plan to walk away, but I get that this wasn't the whole thing wasn't well thought out, because whatever plan they have, they're going to have to shift and change. I have the Ace of Swords, which is, it's an idea, it's a strategy, something new. With the 8 of Cups, which is resignation, walking away. So there may be some clarity or ideas that they have for walking away. But we have the High Priestess, so there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes. And I also feel like this is things constantly changing. There's a lot of worry and fear, and this could maybe go into what we were talking about earlier with terror. And the Knight of Wands, which is fiery, actionable energy too. It's being emboldened.
Yeah, the High Priestess, those secrets behind the scenes. It's interesting that Wheel of Fortune that shows the constant movement of it. And that Page of Cups literally had that sticky fish, that...
Well, not maybe ideas, but maybe not acting upon them or grounded in reality, right?
I feel since we are on Trump, there were quite a few questions about his health. Obviously, seeing the rash. Where are you with that?
I made a joke when I saw the rash. I asked if somebody threw holy water at him.
I love it.
I mean, obviously, I'm not a doctor. When I was reading on it, I actually, every time I read on his health, I get the 3 energy centers, the Dantian systems coming up. So I feel something with the heart. the brain, and I get kidneys. And when I was reading on what was going on with the rash, the skin, I actually felt like it was maybe kidney related. I
Oh,
had a lot
that's
of
an
people
interesting.
say it was cancer cream or something else going on, but I almost felt maybe it was because we saw how swollen his legs were with trying to get that fluid off. I'm not sure if they would do anything with the neck for that, or if there's could be a skin reaction to something with the kidneys. But I was picking up something kidney related.
Interesting. Well, it's interesting. When I read on it, I got the sun, so I was like, well, maybe that's the skin cancer from an
Yeah,
exposure to the sun. But the heart, I would agree with Krista here. Um, Definitely it's heart. I agree with heart. First time I heard kidney, but that makes sense. And apparently there's been more of an opinion about that.
okay.
So you might be onto something. Alexandra here says she doesn't
Well,
think it's
and that's not
cancer,
standing
but
out to me either. But again, I'm not a doctor, so
and it could be multiple things. I don't think it's just one problem,
I
you
agree.
know.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, he's not doing well right now. Can I tell you, I always get in this deck, I get the Empress, but again, what I see in here is you can see the orb around the face, around the head. You can see the orb at the heart, and you can see the sacral chakra, the womb that she's
Mhm.
holding. So again, I think of it as third eye, heart, sacral chakra. And I get this card every time I throw on his health, and I use this deck. I think it's
Wow.
interesting too because I actually think he's a bit scared of dying because he
Oh
keeps
yeah.
talking about going to heaven, and he's crossed by the eight of swords. I mean, this can be a bit of like a mental prison with the cognition, but I almost feel like it's a fear of crown chakra passing over enlightenment. And the thing is they're trying to stabilize him, but he's not a very good patient.
No.
And I get sacral chakra again. So I'm almost feeling that skin being related to kidneys or sacral chakra.
Interesting. I got the sun again, and so this is interesting because I keep getting that. So that was my skin cancer, but listening to your explanation, that could be, isn't that the sun would be sacral chakra as well
It
from a
could be.
chakra? Mhm.
I don't know about the sun and like major arcana for chakras, but I could see it as sacral because it's all about creativity and life. So birthing, creation, right?
Yes. Then I got the judgment, which means like he might hear something, there might be
Mhm.
news coming to him. And then the Six of Swords, that's not a good card. Like,
No.
where is he going?
He
You know,
actually gets the Six of Swords often in this deck. And let me see if I can find it real quick. It didn't come out when I just threw cards. But in this deck, you can see Six of Swords is like crossing
oh,
over.
yeah.
It's a
You
transition,
had,
right?
yes, you had that card a show with the last show or the show before with it.
Yeah. It comes up often for the health. I almost, and
Um,
I've been feeling like there's been some procedures that have went on um, without the public knowing, like minor ones,
oh,
because
yes.
they hide them often or only show them during a certain amount of time. But I actually felt like maybe there would be a fall or something public coming up soon as well as the
Oh,
health not feeling good right now.
um, there was a question kind of back to Iran from
Mhm.
Lois, and thank you. Um, the Iranian cadets at Norwich University in Vermont were sent home. Did they survive? I don't have the background on this. So
Yeah.
they were Vermont, they were sent back to Iran. Okay, did they survive? Okay, I cannot understand the question. Because I mean, what with the Iranian government or regime, you just don't know.
Hmm. I'm not feeling the best about it. Just first glance at the question, and
Did they
I don't
survive?
like the first card that came out is the death card. I hope I'm wrong. I'm not very knowledgeable about that, but I don't really have a
Mhm.
very good feeling.
I got the Eight of Swords, and so I'm afraid that they got into custody.
Hmm.
I'm sorry to say, Lois. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I get the Tower, Five of
Oh,
Pentacles, Eight of Cups. Yeah, those aren't very good outcome cards.
positive cards. No. Um, Switching a little bit here with a question about future elections, and I think that's
Yeah,
interesting to look at. Barbara is asking about the new governor for California will be Democrat or Republican?
I know there's a lot of people afraid of it going to a Republican because there's so many Democrats in. But I'm not actually really all that worried about it. I do feel like it's going to be a male.
Yeah.
I keep going back and forth between Swalwell and I don't remember what that billionaire's name is that's in that race. Is it Steyer?
If you watch us, maybe you can help us. Who's running in California?
I'm just going to throw a couple cards for Democrat and Republican.
Okay, California. Eric Swalwell. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Steyer, yeah. A lot of competition in the Democratic Party.
I don't think so, right? Newsom cannot run. Can he?
They might be asking about president. I don't think he's not running for governor.
No. Oh, governor. No, 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 no. Yes.
I don't see it
All right.
being a Republican, but I do feel because Republicans have like the Ten of Swords, that's defeat, that's loss. I do get for the Democrats, it's a bit competition. There's kind of a big group, and then being a bit cutthroat. I do feel like there's like three Democrats that they're kind of focusing in on with a good possibility. But I also feel like even though a lot of them are fighting now and it's a big group of Democrats, I actually feel some of them will drop out because I feel like there's cooperation and coming together there. But I'm not feeling a Republican taking it. It could be between three of them, maybe Katie Porter too, although I'm feeling a male will win.
The cards I got are leaning more towards Republican,
Okay.
but things can change. I just share what I got.
Yeah.
For Democrats, I got the Moon. So something working in the backgrounds, the Hermit, and the King of Cups. So that would be a male candidate, most likely predominant. I think it makes sense. But for Republicans, look at those cards, Kevin. I got the Six of Pentacles, so they have more money, or there's a lot of money, obviously. The Three of Cups, Three of Cups is a celebration, and then Six of Wands.
Okay.
But I know the energy, it's still early, so I wouldn't hold.
I will say I agree with you. It's not the clearest energy to read on for me right now.
Yeah.
Even though I do think I'm still feeling like it will be a Democrat. I think with California, because what they do is they have all these people running, and then how they do it is the top two candidates. So if all of the Democratic support is split up amongst 15 people running, that's how you could get a Republican with enough support in there, and then the top two go on. I think they would do well with changing it to ranked choice voting, like a lot of other states.
Right.
Makes more
Yes. I mean,
sense.
we really wouldn't want just the state to be lost to a Democrat just because there are just too many candidates. That wouldn't be a good thing. And We can all agree on that. We need as many Democrats as governors. This is such a force of resistance.
Mm-hmm.
And a little compliment for you, Kevin.
Oh, thanks, Carolyn. I hope my cards are accurate today, especially with that one. But
it will be clearer after the primary. I think that's a
yeah,
fair comment that it's hard to read at this point. And the energy fluctuates a lot.
I feel like there's going to be a lot of pressure for some of the Democrats that really aren't polling well to step down or to
Yes.
to resign, to drop out.
Let's see what else you have. If you see a questions you want to take, Kevin, just go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it could be too. Somebody says just wait till Newsom endorses. Yeah, I mean that could probably help a lot with that.
Right.
But we're a
Yes.
bit early. Well, since we're talking about elections, I think MTG's seat is up tomorrow. Do we want to see? I mean, it's a really Republican seat, but do we want to see if Democrats have a chance of winning it?
Yeah, of course.
I think that there's quite a few people running in that race too, and I'm not sure who all the candidates are. I think somebody could if they got over 50%, I think would win. If not, it's probably going to like a runoff election with the top two.
Okay, let's have a look. And I want to welcome everyone who joined. We are exactly at 500 viewers, which is kind of a all-time high. So, Kevin,
Really?
You're making the channel blow up.
Well, thanks. That's awesome. Celtic here says 22 candidates running for MTG's seat. Yeah.
22. My goodness.
Crazy. It's like California's governor's race right now. All right, I'm going to see how Democrats are going to feel about this. Does anybody in the chat know what Georgia district this is? If not, I can Google it, but it might help me focus a little bit more.
Oh, look at that, Kevin.
Oh. Well, it's nice to meet you as well.
Oh, Fulton. Yeah, that could be. Is that Fulton County? 14th and Fulton?
14th. I think it might be the 14th. That sounds, yeah.
14th.
We're saying 14th.
Thank you, Bulls, my spirit. Okay, and Tita's month. So we have a lot of 14.
All right. So is the 14th, Georgia 14th district going to go blue or red? I think it's going to go red. I'm sorry to say, you guys.
Yes, I feel the same. I got that 6 of wands again, but this for Republicans, that's really a victory card.
Yeah, I mean, I have Page of Pentacles, which could be some kind of job offering being presented with, an opportunity. 10 of Cups, a celebration. That's for the Republicans. Democrats have 9 of Swords, so there's anxiety. High Priestess, maybe some stuff going on behind the scenes. And then the 3 of Wands is like they've done some of the work and then kind of waiting for a result.
Yeah, the Democrats will fight, but it's not going to be enough to tip it to make it a win.
Yeah, and I think with it too, I do think it's going to tighten. So it'll be closer, but I think it's a district Trump won by like 60 points. 30 or 40 points, something like that.
Yeah. Do you have a feeling of the gender?
I think it's going to be a male, but I'll throw a card.
I feel so.
I get first court card out with the Knight of Swords. which is more of a masculine energy.
Masculine energy. Yeah. I got the Knight to Nine of Cups.
Okay. So it could be a younger male.
It's interesting. Yeah. Interesting about James Tallarico. That's one to watch. The Texas Senate seat. There's some kind of turning to come. In what way, Kitana? Do you mean like he's not gonna make it, or?
I think there's a lot of people afraid that he's going to be like another John Fetterman, like a turncoat. Like he's actually a Republican, but he's on the Democratic side. And I don't feel, I could be wrong. I think a lot of people feel that way, that they don't trust Tallarico, but I actually feel like he's very authentic and genuine, is my feeling.
A lot of people feel, okay, that's what she's saying, like not genuine.
I mean, he's definitely a different kind of Democrat for sure. But as much as I love Jasmine Crockett, I think Tallarico is actually a much stronger candidate to be competitive like this.
I agree. I would have preferred Crockett, but at this stage, with everything going on, it's whoever has the biggest chance to win.
Mm-hmm. And I actually feel like Crockett's going on to bigger and better things that will be even higher than senator or congresswoman. I very much feel like she's the future of the Democratic Party as like a strong leader.
She is. You want to throw a couple on Tallarico?
Let's throw some cards on him. I will say, I think, wouldn't it be something if she was like Attorney General in the next administration?
Oh, wow.
I think she would be great in like that kind of job.
There's also a question.
Sorry.
A question about. Sorry, Kevin. We get too excited. Money. Is there money? That's always a thing. Is like to win those races, you need a lot of money. So what are you gonna do? But is it questionable? That's the question. Yeah.
I kind of feel with that, and I had heard about him taking Republican money, but then they also said Jasmine Crockett take AIPAC money. So I think a lot of it was kind of Democratic attacks against one another to get the support of the party. And I'm not saying that Jasmine did take AIPAC money or not. I'm just saying that people said that as well. So, but can you imagine if we had a fighter as Attorney General like Jasmine Crockett? I would feel bad for a lot of this administration come next term, because I don't see her being like Merrick Garland.
No, that would be like on fire.
Mm-hmm. Tallarico actually has really good cards here. I said I didn't say that she did take it. I'm just saying people were saying that as well. So,
Right, Kevin. I also have some good cards for him, and there's nothing that suggests that he's not genuine or honest or something going in the background.
I agree. I actually feel like he gets a lot of support. He's got the Magician, so he's like a manifesting master. He's got 6 of Wands being celebrated, achievement, a lot of money coming in for him. Knight of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, 3 of Cups, celebration. I think a lot of support. Ace of Cups, new relationships. A lot of aces there too, which is all about new beginnings. So,
yep. Kind of adding on to that, Knight of Swords is a fighter. He's gonna fight. King of Swords, like he is smart. He speaks the language, so to speak. 2 of Wands, like he is able to plan this. And then Three of Cups. There's a celebration, like you said.
Yeah, Three of Cups as well. I read on it if Jasmine could have won, and I actually got that there was a lot of underhandedness, but there was a lot of underhandedness in that primary too.
I didn't see her winning
Yeah.
when I read on it. Maybe one of the few last questions from Umara Nielsen, and thank you.
Mhm.
Will the Colorado Democrat governor pardon Trump's Tina Peters? I don't have the background on this, but we can still read.
I believe somebody in the chat can tell me if I'm wrong. If I'm remembering correctly, I think she was a big part of the 2020 election fraud stuff that was going on at that time on Trump's side.
So that feels strange that he would pardon her.
Mm-hmm.
But let's see.
My cards are very mixed on this, I'll say. And I'm not sure who the Democrat governor is of Colorado. I'm almost more happy to say not, because I get like Five of Pentacles, which can be a card of jail, feeling out in the cold, abandoned. It would cause a big fight. It wouldn't be easy. There would be a lot of obstacles. But I do have the Devil coming out too, which can be a bit of underhandedness. Three of Pentacles, so maybe people around him pushing for this, and then the Six of Pentacles, which you do this for me, I'll do this for you, kind of quid pro quo card. I'm almost feeling more no, but I do get a sense of underhandedness with it too.
I don't see it. I got the Seven of Pentacles. It's like he's looking at it and he's like, I don't want to touch that. But it's interesting, Ten of Pentacles. There's a lot of money going on behind the scenes. So of what is going on, but there's nothing. Two of Wands, that's not an action card. So
yeah,
I would say no, but it's very strange where all this money is coming up in this reading.
I hadn't even heard that there was a possible pardon for her, so I'm not exactly sure of all the details. And maybe too, with what I'm picking up, maybe there's pressure from Trump's side to get her pardoned. So maybe there's underhandedness with that side rather than the Democratic governor. But I'm leaning more towards no as well. But like I said, something felt a little bit off with the cards.
I feel like also something that has come to me, this is not a question from the chat, but more of a personal take or hit. I know we discussed last time some sort of a health issue or pandemic, endemic, and it just feels much stronger to me now, or some sort of virus or event, maybe like late spring, summer. So I don't know. I think you felt also something like that. Did I remember that right?
I was picking up more. So I think, well, there's a virus I think that's going around India. I don't remember the name of it. That felt like it would be contained, but there would be isolated cases. But I almost, not necessarily picking up another pandemic, but I think a lot of the changes at like CDC and, with all of the vaccines and like measles outbreaks and all of that, I feel more concerned about.
Yeah.
But we can throw some cards on that. I wasn't necessarily picking up like another COVID.
Let's have a look. Health risks, health issues.
Oh, interesting. could be something overseas. Something going on somewhere in the world, I feel like. I don't feel like it's a global pandemic is not what I'm picking up with this card, with
No.
these cards. But my first card out was 10 of Swords, which can be a card of death or being defeated. 6 of Swords, which is about overseas. 5 of Pentacles, which can be a card of poverty. Maybe more people outside being prone to this, if there's like homelessness. And then the Tower too. So something kind of unexpected. I do get that there will be a lot of hard work to kind of keep this under control, and the Strength card. So big time of strength, but to me, it feels like it's more so isolated. I'm not necessarily picking it up so much as like a global pandemic or like COVID lockdowns. It's not feeling that way to me.
I got the 7 of Swords, something sneaky that to me would be a virus. 7 of Swords could be a virus. The Ace of Cups, I got from the Ace of Cups, a sense of fluid, so sneezing and, like the respiratory system in a way. I associate it that way. And the Hermit, people having to isolate, a sense of, and maybe the elderly being more at risk, of course. Yeah. I want to thank Ness. She puts like a very nice.
Oh, Ness is awesome.
A common friend. So thank you for being our liaison. Well, I think, Kevin, that's a wrap on that note. I wanted to thank you so. We covered a lot. It was very engaging. We had a lot of people. Thank you all for watching the show. Make sure that you check your subscription. You might think you're subscribed and maybe you're not on both channels. I will do a solo show live on Friday with kind of like this one. So if your question was not picked up, I'll be able to pick it up. And what about you, Kevin? You might have another current events show coming up?
I have a collaboration with Lori from The Way of Positive Change on Wednesday on my channel, Kevin's Loving Vibrations. I should be on Mel Door's channel Thursday night. And if I have time, I'll try to do a solo show, a solo live as well this week. Again, if there's time. I have kind of a busy week coming up. But I do have some openings for readings, Reiki sessions, or I do a combination of both if you want the best of both worlds. And I also have some Reiki classes coming up as well. So if anybody's interested in learning Reiki, I have a couple spots left over in my April classes for that. So, and all of that's on my website, kevinslovingvibrations.com. You can check it out there.
Awesome. Thank you all. Thank you, Kevin, for being there's a lot of comments about our interaction. So we appreciate all of that. Thank you all for being here. We will do this again on Kevin's channels next time. So thank you and bye, everyone.